Hello all and welcome to my channel. So is there a recession looming? We've been hearing that for weeks and we're never quite sure when it's coming. But I got news for you. It could be coming sooner than we expect. And it seems like possibly after the holidays. In this video I want to share with you with CNBC, I'm going to react to what they're discussing with how people are using credit cards and the scary moment after the holidays of what's going to happen. But before I get there, guys, I really would love it if you hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and with your help, I would certainly get there. Now, let me share this video with you, and let's see if we agree with the current state of the economy and what's about to happen.
The U.S. economy has been on recession watch for months now, and so far, the all-important American consumer has been holding strong, keeping those recession forecasts from becoming true.
Consumer is still spending.
Consumer is in better shape. If they have money, they're going to spend it.
Consumers continuing to be resilient.
The consumer health has been resilient so far this year.
Consumer resilience is about to be tested. Americans now carry more than $1 trillion in credit card debt going into the holiday shopping season.
That is interesting. They're saying how the consumer is spending, they have the money for it, but we know they don't have the money for it. A lot of people are using credit cards. As they said in the end of the video, it's $1 trillion in credit card debt. So people are just swiping and swiping. To me, that's not a sign of things are great in the economy and everyone is just full of cash and just buying all these things. No. It just means they're getting really close to the limits and eventually they need to pay it off. And are they able to? We're gonna find out.
It's topped $1 trillion in America. That amount includes both revolving balances and balances paid off at the end of the billing cycle.
Consumers are increasingly reliant on credit cards to finance purchases of everyday goods and services, and that's because they're just getting a lot more expensive. At the same time, their wages are not increasing at the same pace as inflation, and that makes it more difficult because as the credit card balance increases, it can be more challenging for consumers to pay down that debt.
That to me is a scary situation, that a lot of people using the credit cards getting so close to the limit and now they have to face reality. And the reality is they cannot pay that bill because as she mentioned, they're not increasing wages, which is it's so unfortunate. I really do not understand how in these current times companies are not increasing the wages. If people are buying and spending so much money, why these companies not increasing their wages, I really have no idea. And I understand inflation has always been around, but the inflation has been high for quite some time. And like I said, those people using those credit cards, eventually it's gonna max out. And what they're gonna do next is something that I'm not quite sure anyone knows, but it is kind of scary.
Typically, after the holiday season, credit card debt levels drop as consumers pay down their shopping balances. But at the start of 2023, it remained unchanged, and now shoppers are prepared to spend even more than 2022.
Holiday shoppers do plan to spend more, according to a survey and the forecast done by the National Retail Federation. They found that people plan to spend about $40 more than they did last year, and that could be in part because of higher prices in some categories. There is still this deal-seeking mentality for items, and so that may mean that people are going to look for whatever is on sale, along with seeking newness.
Americans planning to flood the mall with their retail credit cards may be shocked when the bill comes, because those cards are carrying a higher interest rate than years prior. In fact, some are starting to rise to rates that only subprime borrowers see, rates exceeding 33%.
You know, we really need to bring back layaways. I remember back in my days, my parents put all my gifts on layaway, got it paid off before the holidays, done, over with. New Year starts, they don't got to deal with none of that stress of paying the bills back, nothing. But that is a very scary moment they said in the video, which is usually the balance goes down at the beginning of the year. Which, if you think about it though, how much did it go up? It probably went up quite a bit and just took a little small dip, and they now have a higher balance than they did the previous months. Well, anyway, the fact that they're still carrying balances from last year and now they continue to add more on top of that is something that's very worrisome. The interesting part about all this is we're talking about credit cards here. I wonder how Afterpay or Firm, all those buy now, pay later apps, how much money they're gonna make around this time. That's what they need to show about how much the balances are now for people using those buy now, pay laters. Because as I said, growing up, layaway was the thing. and people see Affirm and all those other buy now pay later apps as a digital layaway. So they might go that route, and that would be interesting if they do.
The average consumer has around a $6,000 credit card balance, $400 to $600 monthly student loan payment, high rent, and car loan payments. Americans may wonder if it's even possible to keep their heads afloat.
It's gonna come a time when people are gonna need to make a decision. What's the most important thing in my life? And I got a funny feeling that credit card delinquencies are gonna be high. People are gonna forego paying their credit card bills in order to maintain their car, pay for the utilities, their food, shelter, for everything else. Credit cards is the option that people are gonna say, you know what, F it. And they're just not gonna pay it. I saw recently there was a high delinquency already prior to the holiday shopping with people just not paying their credit cards and having late payments, and things are getting really tight, very tight in a lot of households. That's why to me it's extremely important to budget. You really need to have a budget in the beginning of next year and put some money aside. That way the Christmas season could be an enjoyable one, not a very stressful moment where you don't know how you're gonna pay for it. And then once those credit cards come in, you're gonna use that and say, when my tax refund comes, I'll use that to pay it off. Or when my bonus comes, and that's not guaranteed. So what do you guys think? Do you really think after the holiday season is gonna be a recession? People are gonna be struggling even more than they were before? Drop a comment down below and let me know. Until next time, guys, peace.